Goeiemorgen, good morning, bonjour, konnichiwa, molweni. Unexpectedly, for me at least, there was a big farm update in the middle of April. So let's go have a look and see exactly what it entails. Here we are, 13th of April. So it's the end of Easter. Immediately when I see this picture, I notice something that looks like a spinning wheel token, except it's a purple glowy one, like it's got a Minecraft enchantment on it. And when I read here quickly, then I don't see anything specific to it. So we'll have to go see if we can find out what that is all about. So what is in the update? Firstly, what are the chances? Mystery boxes. Oh yes. Yes, we always wonder what is inside our mystery boxes. And that's why it's called mystery boxes. It will stay a mystery until you open them. Except now there's a little twist. From now on, you will be able to see the probabilities of the items. Let's hop to Big Farm and see if we can see the difference. Okay, we're here on the farm, so let's see what's happened to the mystery boxes. Mystery boxes, there they are. Let's just start with the regular mystery boxes, and I don't see anything new here in the information. Yes, there's a new tab sheet called chances. So in legendary, epic, rare, uncommon, and common, does that look different to, for example, this one? Oh yes, it also has divisions, the same divisions, but the content of every division is different. So from what I see here, it would appear that in each one of these mystery boxes, the purple themed box, there is a 0.5% chance of getting one of these items. 4.5 is an epic chance of getting one of these. Rare is 10%, uncommon 25, and common is 60. And if somebody feels like adding them all up, it should give us, yes it does, it gives 100. Okay. And if we look at a different kind of mystery box, legendary for a normal mystery box is getting more or money, but the percentages are different. The divisions are the same, probably because the amount of items is different. The uncommon is lower, but the common is much higher. Okay, that's your probability. So now if you are looking for a specific item, then you can see which mystery boxes to open in order to have the highest probability of getting those items. So in a gold theme box, there's a very slow chance of getting any one of those, which also includes the amount. See, there's a low chance of getting 500 championship coins for the gold theme box, but there's a common chance for getting 50 points. It's not necessarily the items, it's the combination of item and quantity. Okay, that's very interesting. Back to Discord. Spring is finally here. Springtime, fresh green grass, birds cheerfully, see it on the farm. Wheels of Fortune and other events are getting a sweet little overall, painting them in the colors of spring. I wonder if that is connected to the new purple spinning token. We've also improved some reward lines and added a glorious new goat stable, so keep your eyes open. Let's hop back to the farm and see what that is all about. So there should be a spring overall on the buildings. I don't quite see a big difference on the buildings, but then again, I have skins on many things. Although this cooperative championship, the event building, maybe that's the buildings they mean. The event building now has a purple-pink flower on it to indicate it's spring. Oh, there's more flowers. Improved rewards, including tokens for the seasonal spring wheel of fortune. Okay, so there is where the glowy tokens come in. We will have a special wheel for spring tokens. Where we will only be able to use spring tokens on a spring wheel or something like that. I do not see the wheel yet. This is a normal wheel, normal tokens. And this one is the Worldwide Championship wheel, also using normal tokens. I guess we'll have to wait to see a spring wheel and see what they look like. So I assume you will have a range of spring-themed events, and even the Farmers League now seem to have a purple flower on it. The Discord did mention that it will have reworked rewards. I wonder if that only means like the rewards in the events, including spring tokens, or if there's more differences in the rewards. Maybe differences in the rewards from the wheel, because here I don't see anything big differently other than having an amount of spring tokens instead of regular tokens. Next change. Now this is interesting. There'll be a lot of space in your pockets. Are you tired of having to throw away your buildings in order to make more space on your farms? Okay, you'll have up to 10 brand new spaces in an additional inventory tab to store the buildings you don't want to have on your farm right now, which means we can have them back later. Oh, there are so many questions. Definitely have to go see what that is all about. Back on the farm, and we should have a new inventory slot to store buildings. Let's go see in the inventory and local inventory buildings, stored buildings, Dropbox, theme buildings, mystery boxes. Yep, those are all the normal stuff. So this is a local inventory for decorations, which you have built and then taken away. We now have a similar one for buildings, and on the main farm it looks like that. Let's go see on the Gourmet farm. It still looks the same. Okay, so let's try to see what this does. What building will I not mind if I lose it for a little while? Where's the workshop? I haven't used it since they changed it, and I stopped upgrading them as well. Okay, so how do we store it? Appearances, move, rotate, demolish. No, I don't want to do any of those things. I want to store it in this new storage thingy. How did it work with these? You could go there. Oh, store is that side. Silly me. Go away. Workshop. No, there's no storage there. Does it not work for this type of building? Okay, what else don't I really use? Let's try one of the factories. Move, rotate. In the information? Nope, not in the information. Okay, so we have a new storage space, but how do you get a building in here? Maybe they can help. Decorations. Oh, oops. Decorations you have constructed but no longer require can be stored in your local inventory. Simply select the decoration you want to put into storage and then click store. Dropbox, themed buildings, mystery boxes, and others. Okay. That still doesn't tell us how to get the building in here. Take the building and say move, and then we move it to here and say go here. Nope. Well, that is a very interesting question. So how do you move a building that you no longer use? I really don't want to put away a useful building. Let's try. Oh boy. For the education. Is there a way? So the goat stable has a new icon from the ring menu. Select the building, go to the upgrade side, and instead of demolish, rotate, or move, you can now store it. But you cannot store the bakery. Ugh, that would have been nice. It's a bit of a wasted space. And you can't store the workshop either, which I would also have liked to do, which makes it appear that this only applies to very normal kind of buildings. So what happens if we store it? Let's go see. Okay, and it's gone. In the inventory, it's now there. Can I just put it back? Or does it take a building time to put it back? Nope, it goes back instantly. Interesting. So can you store a building while it's in production? No, you can't. Can you store a building while it's ready? No, you can't either. Okay, so far I don't see any way to get advantage from this new update, except for the fact that perhaps when there's some buildings you don't use very often. Go away. Like the peaches. But then again, the peaches take so long. You want them ready when you want them. Actually, where this could potentially be useful is for something like maybe the orchards or the apiaries, which for some of the themed events and sometimes in a village fair, you really would like a lot of them, but the rest of the time you don't need that many to keep your farm running. So what you could do is build a whole lot of apiaries, and if you don't quite have the diamonds to put them away in a community building just yet, hey, can you store a community building? No, you can't. Then you can store them. In the meantime, use the space for something else. And when one of those themed events is due, or a village fair is due, if your co-op likes to do honey in a village fair, or maybe the same with the citrus orchards, you can store a whole bunch of them, and just before the village fair starts, perhaps you can put away some of the meadows or anything else that you don't need as much for the village fair and replace it with the building that you will need for that event. And of course, it's also very useful if you just want to reorganize your farm, or you don't need something right now, but you don't want to quite demolish it just in case it becomes useful again later. Can I store this workshop? Also not. Maybe. Can you take away the appearance and then store it? What happens with appearances? Did the Viking... Let's go back. Now I'm wondering. Did the goat stable have an appearance? No. Field, level 10. That's a normal building, right? Does it have it? Can it have appearances? Yes, it can. It doesn't have any appearance at the moment. So let's give it an appearance. Then store it. And it's there with the appearance. So when you replace it, the building is there and the new appearance that you assigned to it is still there. And when you remove it, the appearance go back into your appearance set. Well, very unexpected and very interesting updates. What else is there in Discord? Ooh, I forgot. What about other farms? Can you store this? No. Okay. How about something like the temporary farms? Well, I guess they don't have a storage inventory. How about the obsidian farm? Does it have a storage inventory? Yes, it has a local building inventory, which means... Oh, my poor coins. Okay. And yes, it can be stored away and pulled out again. Now something else I have not thought about. What is the impact on workers? At the moment I have no workers left because they're all busy. If you store the building, however, I now have workers available. This has possibilities. And then I don't think any of these houses is... Do I have any farms with a lot of spare workers where I can try out this particular bit? Because that means then you can, if you have a limited amount of workers, you can swap around your buildings with the same amount of workers instead. How many workers do I have here? 40. Okay, well, there's no house on this farm that only has 40 workers. No, they're all big buildings. None of them. How many workers does this one have at the moment? Okay. I wanted to see if you can store the houses. If you store the buildings and it frees up the workers, can you then store the house? So it would appear the only way to know that is to build a house. Build a house. Skip. Now, can we store the house in any way? Yes, you can. And when you store the house, it goes into building. So that means that if you have stored perhaps a building that requires a lot of workers, like a really big cow, and you have a lot of extra workers, then who has the fewest? No, you're level 9. Now that you have all the extra workers, it means you can also store the house. Hang on. Happiness is 1269. If we store the small house here, you can't store it from here. You'll have to take it out of storage and find somewhere that it will fit, like there, and then store it. Then the happiness increases. So there's another way of working around happiness. If you desperately want a building but you don't quite have the workers for it yet, you can store another building temporarily. Or if you want to increase the happiness on your farm for a short while, you can store some buildings, store the houses that would house the workers for that building, and then increase the happiness. But then when you want to have the building back, you can't have the building back if you do not have the available number of workers. So you'll first have to put the house back, which will then decrease your happiness again. Let's make space. Yes, yes. And then, oh, oops, it even tells you that. Nice. I haven't even thought of it. Thank you for telling me. Then you can replace the building and use the workers again later when you have them available. I'm sure there is already a number of players hard at work figuring out excellent strategies to use this ability to store buildings without a rebuilding time in order to make best use of it for events. If you have any of those strategies, please share it with the rest of us. And if you don't have any other platform to share it, you can do it on the Big Farm Discord server or in the comment section of the video, so I can also learn more tricks, please. Thank you. But before we jump right into spring, let's take a moment to savor the last remains of our Easter chocolate. And then, as usual with any update, there are a few bugs that has been addressed. The wrong skins on the Global Point event apple orchard. Some values on display for the edge plants that were wrong is now corrected, and in Spanish, for one of the dialogues, there was an incorrect font used. And that is the update. A very unexpected building inventory change and a little more information about the probabilities of getting certain items in mystery boxes. See you on the farm. Have fun farming.